In 2013, Mumbai Indians spent 2 crore on this player, but they couldn't even make 60 runs in the entire season. Well, this was a small amount. What about those players on whom the team spends 30–40% of its budget, where in 2008, the most expensive player was sold for 9.5 crores in 2024. This figure is around 25 crores. But can everyone do it? So today, we will talk about 10 such players who couldn't justify their price tag in IPL. By the way, the most expensive player of the 2014 mega auction was Yuvraj Singh. But these players weren't that cheap either. I'm talking about Dinesh Karthik. After signing him for 12.5 crores, DC selectors wouldn't have slept in peace. Delhi spent 12 crores on a player whose average in the previous IPL season was neither 40 nor was his strike rate above 140. In 2013 IPL, he made 510 runs. But this is after playing 19 matches, which is an average of less than 28. A year before that, the situation was even worse, in which Karthik played with an average of 18. Interestingly, there was a mega auction in 2014, so Delhi had a lot of options for a dependable batsman and a wicketkeeper. But they chose Karthik. That year, DC's performance was the worst. By finishing last in the points table, DC didn't retain Karthik the next year. And why did they do it? This experiment became so expensive because Karthik made a 23.7% average run in the 2014 IPL. There must be a lot of expectations in 12 crores. Where Karthik's form was average, our next player had beaten cancer. I'm talking about Yuvraj Singh, who was bought by Delhi for 16 crores, and he was the most expensive player of that year. Although, till the start of 2015, Yuvraj wasn't a go-to player in the Indian team. But because of his excellent performance in 2014, Delhi took a bet on this all-rounder. Yuvraj made 376 runs in 2014, with a strike rate of 135, which had a high score of 3.5 centuries and 83. With an economy of 8 runs in bowling, Yuvraj had 5 wickets for RCB. Delhi had given a lot of trouble to RCB for Yuvraj in the auction. But because of his poor form, Delhi released Yuvraj in just 1 year. That year, UV made 248 runs in 14 matches, and that too with a strike rate of 118. Yuvraj couldn't do much for Delhi in bowling as well, because in 14 matches he scored only 9 overs, in which he got only 1 success. In comparison to 2014, Delhi scored more than 7 points, but still, they were last. The worst IPL buyer of 2016 made headlines, and everyone was asking only one question. Why? Not learning from their mistakes, DC surprised everyone for the 3rd time in 2016, when they spent 8.5 crores on a left-arm spin bowler. Everyone thought that DCA doesn't have a spin bowler, but they had already bought Amit Mishra, Imran Tahir, and Shahbaz Nadeem. Then people thought that past performance would be good. So if you look at the stats from 2012 to 2015, they have bowled in 21 matches in 4 years, in which they have only got 13 successes, in which he got only 1 success. In comparison to 2014, Delhi scored more than 7 points. But still, they were last. The worst IPL buyer of 2016 made headlines, and everyone was asking only one question. Why? Not learning from their mistakes, DC surprised everyone for the 3rd time in 2016. When they spent 8.5 crores on a left-arm spin bowler, everyone thought that DCA doesn't have a spin bowler. But they had already bought Amit Mishra, Imran Tahir, and Shahbaz Nadeem. Then people thought that past performance would be good. So if you look at the stats from 2012 to 2015, they have bowled in 21 matches in 4 years, in which they have only got 13 successes. I am not talking about 1 season, I am talking about 4 years. Then they thought that they are good at batting, but they didn't bat for 2 years. Until 2012 to 2015, their average was 16–17. By the time Delhi got to know about this mistake, they had already left the train platform. Negi scored a total of 57 runs, and in bowling as well, in 8 matches, he got only 1 wicket. Obviously, there is no doubt that DC released him at the end of 2016, where Nagy was an uncapped player, whereas our next player set fire to Indian pitches 2 months before the IPL. I am talking about Taimul Mills. In the beginning of 2017, 20 days before the IPL auction, he had troubled Indian batsmen a lot on India's high-scoring pitches. In 3 T20I matches, Mills had maintained an economy of 7.8 against India. Even before this, in 2016, Mills had played 24 T20 matches, where he had maintained an economy of 30 wickets and 7.2, because of which he was also known as a death specialist. But in the IPL, he also got screwed up. RCB bought Mills for 12 crores in 2017. Where, while showing a very underwhelming performance, Mills had only 5 wickets in 5 matches. That, too, with an economy of 8.5. So, safe to say, he could not create that much of an impact, neither for RCB nor for IPL, because after that, he played for IPL in 2022. Next, we will talk about a player who was bought by Punjab for his 6-hitting ability, but he has not hit a single 6 in the entire season. If you know, then comment below. But before that, let's see the biggest disappointment of 2018 IPL. For this player, SRH had worked very hard in the 2018 mega auction. In order to stabilize his middle order, Hyderabad had given 11 crores to Manish Pandey. The interesting thing is that in this much, Rahul would have won. However, the 2017 IPL was very beneficial for Manish, because he had made almost 400 runs with an average of 49.5 and a strike rate of 130. Manish, who had been a star player in 2017, could not do much for SRH in 2018. He played 15 matches and made only 284 runs, that too with an average of 25. So far, he has played 4 seasons and 51 matches for SRH, but he has not been able to justify his price in any season. Funny enough, he has played all IPL from 2008 to 2024. But Manish has not been able to remain a consistent player, nor has he been able to make a place for himself in any team. That's why, even after having so much experience, he has played in 8 IPL teams. Last year, after a shameful performance in DC, Manish will play for KKR in 2024 IPL. The next player has cheated the same team 3 times. I am talking about Jaidev Unadkat. Because of his crazy performance in 2017, Rajasthan Royals bought Jaidev for 11.5 crores in the 2018 mega auction. But because of his poor performance in 2018, Jaidev disappointed Rajasthan a lot. In that season, Jaidev, who took only 11 wickets in 15 matches, proved to be very expensive for Rajasthan. If we talk about bowling, in 2018, he bowled with an economy of 9.6. He bowled with an economy of 9.6 as compared to 7 in 2017. And after this bad performance, Rajasthan obviously released him before the 2019 auction. But surprising everyone, in the 2019 auction, Rajasthan bought Jaidev once again. Price, 8.5 crores, meaning the most expensive player of the 2019 IPL. RR gave Jaidev another chance, which was his biggest mistake. Because, again, not living up to Rajasthan's expectations, this time, Jaidev's performance was even worse. In 11 matches, he took only 10 wickets, which was at an average of 10.6. which was one of the worst years of his IPL career, because of which he was also removed from Rajasthan at the end of 2019. Obviously, Rajasthan wouldn't have bought him in the 2020 IPL, right? Okay, if they bought him, then they wouldn't have performed badly. Even if Rajasthan bought Jaidev again in 2020, but that year's worst transaction was Maxwell to Punjab. Logically, this wasn't a wrong decision. Punjab had a lot of batting players, KL Rahul, Chris Kyle, Nicholas Puran. If they needed a hard-hitting all-rounder who would take out some middle overs and also fulfill the role of a finisher. For this, Punjab bought Maxwell for around 11 crores. In the 2020 season, they made a total of 108 runs, which was at an average of 15. Moreover, their highest score of that season was 32. Maxwell, who was picked for his six-hitting ability, didn't score a single six for Punjab. Maxwell's performance was so bad that in the last do-and-die match of the group stage against CSK, Maxwell had to sit out. Where Punjab took a bet on an established player, in 2021, RCB shocked everyone when they bought Kyle Jemison for 15 crores. Before the 2021 IPL, Jemison hadn't played any domestic T20 matches, and even in 4 matches of T20I, his performance was quite average. But Jemison was known as a test specialist. In the beginning of his test career, he took 36 wickets in his first 6 matches, with an economy of just 13. But RCB spent 15 crores on a T20 rookie player. As a result, Jemison was only able to take 9 wickets in 2021 IPL, with a high economy of 9.6. Obviously, RCB released Jemison after that. SRH did the same thing in 2023, where they spent 13 crores on a rookie T20 player. But before that, let's talk about the biggest blunder of 2022. Am I buying Jofra Archer for 8 crores? The blunder in this deal was that the English Cricket Board had already refused, that Archer can be included in the 2022 IPL auction, but he won't play in the 2022 IPL. Why? Just so that someone buys Jofra for the long term. And even knowing this, MI spent 8 crores on Jofra, which they thought was a genius move, which would help them a lot in the future. But it was the opposite. So in 2022, MI took him out without Jofra, and in 2023, they played 5 matches, in which Jofra took only 3 wickets, at an economy of 9.5. After the last IPL, he suffered a long-term injury, due to which MI didn't retain him in 2024, so basically 8 crores lost. Similarly, last year, SRH bought Harry Brook for 13 crores, whereas SRH's batting lineup was already sorted. Hyderabad raised a lot of questions about this purchase, because until then, Brook was not an established T20 player. SRH gave a justification for this and called Brook a project player. They said that Brook would be a part of the team for at least 5 years, but only after 10 months, SRH released Brook. Due to a bad start in the middle order, Hyderabad tried to get Harry on the opening. In the beginning, he did work, because in his first match as an opener, Brook scored a winning shot against KKR. But after that, he couldn't do much. Because in 2023 IPL, in total, Brook scored 190 runs, out of which 100 runs were scored in just 1 match, which is why he was the worst buy of IPL 2023. 2024 IPL is going on well, and the teams have spent a lot of money for the players, whether it's Mitchell Starc or Harshal Patel. So who do you think is going to be the worst buy of this IPL? Let us know in the comments. Let us know in the comments.